Week 3 rankings, wide receivers. Let's break it down. The Fantasy Football Show begins right now.
From the FantasyFootballShow.com studios, it's the Fantasy Football Show. Monday through Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern. Smitty is also live whenever news breaks.
Ladies and gentlemen, here we are ranking the wide receivers for week number 3. I'm going to go pretty quickly through the top 10, 12, maybe top 12, I would say. So the wide receiver ones, and then we'll go into more of a list format for the remainder of the players. So I'd say looking at matchups, keeping everything into account, the bust, the potential risky calls like BTJ. Let's break it down. CeeDee Lamb ranking number 1. He's the top card on the board right here on the table. Matchup's good. Chicago is nice. This is a nice matchup. Chicago gets way in over their head every single game. Ben Johnson does not have this thing well oiled over there in Chicago. It's in Chicago. There could be an unexpected turn of events. This happens, but this is a bad defense. Maybe they get scored on. Maybe Caleb's able to move the ball a little bit in this one. And usually the Chicago Bears do have some touchdown strikes in the third and fourth quarter as defenses try to play prevent. But, this could be actually a shootout because Dallas's D is horrible. But you couldn't ask for a better matchup here. CeeDee Lamb, Dak Prescott, Pickens, all going to ball. Pickens, you might be surprised where Pickens ranks in this list or where I might talk about his upside being slotted in versus his ranking. But Jamar Chase, boom. Next up would be probably, I'm going to say this would be Malik Nabers territory. Obvious baller, number 1 overall dynasty wide receiver in my mind. And I'm worried about the toe. I'm worried about this team not winning. I'm worried about what happens in week 15, 16 still, but it's not going to change the fact that scared money don't make money. At least right now, you're rolling with this guy. If you got him, you just enjoy the fruits of his labor. And then we talk about week 13, 14, 15. If we ever get there and the toe gets to become a problem and there's no playoff hopes, what do they maybe do? I don't know. I don't care. Right now, smash. Nabers doing work against KC. This is at home. This is at home versus KC. Gonna need to throw back into this game. You never know how the game flow could be. It certainly could be a close game. Every time we say, oh, they're going to be throwing from behind, it ends up being the opposite because this is the NFL. This is football. But KC, great matchup. Very, very conducive to third and fourth quarter throwing. And Nabers is going to be spoon-fed, force-fed. I'm afraid they're going to break this guy, but they're going to feed him along the way. Scared money don't make money. Nabers, wide receiver 2, maybe number 1. Puka Nacua coming in at number 3, I think, for this week. Matchup, Philly, good matchup. Probably going to be a lot of throwing in this game. I think he probably has over 100 yards. Let's hope he gets a touchdown. 2 touchdowns on the ground in his career so far. Still only 9 receiving, so he's got 11 total. But this is a guy that needs to crack that top or that 10 mark for receiving touchdowns. Puka, good matchup, spoon-fed. Let's keep him healthy, though. We keep feeding him all these footballs. He's diving out. He's getting bloody noses. He's constantly getting hurt. But love the guy. Again, scared money don't make money when it comes to Puka Nacua. Let's do it live. Number 3, Puka. Hard not to like Jamar Chase right here. Is he number 1 or number 2 on my weekly rankings moving forward? Probably not. But I think he's always going to linger in the top 5. Always having a cup of coffee, a seat at the table with the top 5. Browning's good enough, but does it limit him a little bit? Is he a little watered down? Potentially, we're going to put him number 4. At Minnesota, tough matchup. So that's why. You know what? The Minnesota matchup almost makes me want to move him down slightly. Let's see if we can. Let's put him JJ versus Cincy. It's the same game. I'm going to go. Let's see here. Jamar Chase. Man, this is a tough matchup. Let's go JJ here. We'll go JJ here. Same game. We'll go JJ. I don't love his quarterback situation at all, but I think he gets spoon-fed. We'll go with this. 1, 2, 3, 4, top 5. There you go. Boom. St. Brown, almost disrespectful having him this late. Baltimore, I could see this being a good game. It's not going to be quite as good as last week, but I think this is a good slotting for him. Put him at number 6, like the potential matchup here. I'd say it's still a good matchup. Very strong matchup. Is it as good as, let's say, Lamb's? Not really, but it's still solid. This could be a shootout. I think there's going to be a lot of scoring in this game. Lamar, Goff, a lot of footballs being thrown around. Gibbs should have a field day in this one, but this isn't about Gibbs. This is about St. Brown. St. Brown ranks easily in the top 5 or 6 for this week. A minus matchup, probably a B plus to A minus. I think, you got maybe an A plus in Lambs, you got an A plus in Nabers, A minus for St. Brown. Love it. Could easily be 1, 2, or 3 on the week though. Jackson Smith-Njigba coming in next, and his matchup versus the Saints is fantastic. I could easily see him finishing in this range, but this is a respectable territory for the man that's been balling out all year so far. This is one of the show favorite wide receivers. Love the kid. Nico Collins, will put him right here. They're going to throw to him. He's always going to be a target hog. And the matchup is still nice. This is Jacksonville. I could easily see, like JSN, him ranking anywhere in this territory. But right now, this is going to be my 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Top 8. There you go. Do it live. Egbuka coming in at number 9. Love the kid. Looked fantastic last week until he had the quad leg wrap situation going on, and on that second touchdown almost strike, a near connect, he just couldn't get there quick enough because he was bothered. We'll keep tabs on him all week. I don't think there's anything specifically wrong with him right now, but Egbuka probably going to be in for another touchdown. Let's call it a 2 TD day, maybe this is the one guy that slips into the top 5 or 6. Love me some Emeka Egbuka. This is going to be a pretty tasty matchup at the end of the day against this Jets team that is hobbled, banged up, without Fields. Probably get the score run up on them a little bit. Very much like Egbuka this week. Now, look, the nice thing about Evans is constantly going to be drawing a lot of defensive attention, and no matter what defenses expect out of Egbuka or not, they're still forced to look at Mike Evans and say, this is the monster of the squad. This is the guy we have to. He's going to manhandle us. We got to shut this guy down. And so Egbuka is always going to be getting open looks and being moved all around the field. And remember, in college, he was a rover, constantly learning all the positions as he played with the best wide receivers you've ever heard of. Emeka Egbuka's college wide receiver room consisted of Jeremiah Smith, MHJ, Garrett Wilson. All these wide receivers this guy's played with is crazy. So he's been a rover. He's learned all the positions. This is what he does best. Is he's asked to go do this, asked to go do that, and Evans is going to keep that defensive attention, and Buka is going to clean up all year long. Buka, love him, do it live. So Buka was number 9. Number 10 is going to be Drake London. We're still worried about the shoulder, but I think he's going to be healthier every game. The targets are still there. He's still a target monster, target hog, and I love London at Carolina. These are all A matchups still. We're still all in the A plus to A minus range. I don't think we have a B matchup yet, in my opinion, at least. I mean, maybe the Buka matchup is kind of like a B plus or whatever, but these matchups are straight up baller. All right, here comes the controversy. BTJ Smitty, he looks so bad. This will be where the BTJ value bounces back. And honestly, I could definitely see him climbing up into this territory here, which would make him really hard to trade for. This would be the week to go get him. Use guys like Judkins or JCM on your bench that you don't need, and people are needing those running backs and they're willing to sacrifice and go get BTJ. Give up AJ Brown, who's in a struggling passing attack on top of being banged up. It looks like he's still got soft tissue, hamstring injuries, and then there's the knee concerns and the diva mentality, and the Jalen Hurts barely throwing for 101 yards. And the only reason he was in the 100 range, even close to it, was that long throw to Devontae Smith that he did all the work on. BTJ, buy him now. He'll never be cheaper. And number 12, maybe we go to 13 because I want to include another guy. And then we go to a board and we're going to write out the rest. But these are the top dogs. This is the easy, quick stuff. Flowers. We're going to go with Flowers here. Still an A matchup. These are all A matchups. Flowers is a fantastic play here versus Detroit. Again, this should be a shootout. of sorts, and they're moving this kid all over the field. They're running multiple formations they normally don't run year in and year out. This is a team and a quarterback, I say, doesn't produce a top 20 wide receiver. Well, Lamar might produce one this year. Flowers looks fantastic. Flowers has always been a favorite of the channel. He was one of the original Moon Men. We just haven't loved his situation, and we've been right on it. But this year, his situation is changing. We got to recognize that, and we're going to be all in on Flowers this year as one of those high-end wide receiver twos that you get at almost flex-like value right now via trade. Go strike, go strike, go strike. And my gut instinct is saying that this kid's going to do it. He's going to do it live. He's going to be magnificent this week. He's going to be one of, in retrospect, the best buy low wide receiver ones that could save your lineup right now. If you're struggling and you've got no wide receiver one, now is the time to strike before week 3 kicks off. If you wait until after week 3, you're missing an opportunity to fill that void at wide receiver without diluting your running backs. Let's say you got like the Gibbs and Bucky and Josh Allen, and you're like, but I have a wide receiver problem, Smitty. You can go get Evans right now and fix it without having to touch any of that. Buy them low, buy them low, buy them low. Top 13 wide receivers. These are the wide receiver ones for week number 3. Okay, so after Evans, this becomes kind of a tough call here between guys like Garrett Wilson and Adams. I'd probably say Adams is a safe play. The volume is there. This guy has a capability of being in the top 7 or 8 on the week anyway. G. Willie, kind of a tough call. We might bump G. Willie down given the quarterback situation, and so let's wait and see throughout the week. I think Lad McConkey is still somebody to consider here. Debo Samuel, we're waiting on JD5. Let's go with Debo here for now. Let's go with Scary Terry here for now. Terry there for now. We've got who do we have? Lad McConkey, AJ Brown, DK Metcalf, MHJ. Dunze is pretty nice right now. Let me put Pickens here right now. I said you'd be surprised by my ranking, and this isn't actually that high, but I'll give you my take on this. I think Pickens could easily be in the 12 to 15 range. If I had to take anybody out, I guess it would be Garrett Wilson right now. If, let's say, Fields plays, then Garrett Wilson would climb. Let's do that. That should be shocking. And, you know, Garrett Wilson still could deliver, but I think this is a realistic expectation for Garrett Wilson given the circumstances. So we're going with T. Higgins. Let's see who else we got to find. J-Mo needs to be in this conversation. Lad, I think, bounces back a little bit this week. And you could say that you like Keenan Allen there, too. I'm fine with that. Let's see here. We've got Lad. We've got MHJ. I think bounces back just a little bit here. Scores a touchdown. Dunze. Let's put a Dunze here. Man. Let's put a Dunze here. And Lad here. And I haven't given the matchups yet. Let me just say that we got Ted McMillan too. Let's go Ted over MHJ. Ted McMillan, MHJ here. Or Lad, this you could swap either way. Ted McMillan's got a pretty solid matchup against the Falcons, so I like that here. Dunze is a solid play this week against Dallas. Very bad defense. Dunze and Ted could easily rank inside here. If JD5 doesn't play, I could move both these guys down to this range and move Ted and Dunze up into the top 15, 16, 17. So understand that. We've got Debo, Ted, T. Higgins. I don't know if I can rank T. Higgins here. DK Metcalf, potentially. I could move that. DK's got a matchup against the New England Patriots in New England. If I didn't give you all the matchups with these guys, I told you about Puka all the way down to, what was it, 13 Evans. So Adams is up against Philly, just like Puka. Pickens has that nice matchup we already talked about that Lamb has at Chicago. Debo and Scary Terry, again, tough to rank them now. We're going to move them as we find out more information, but Debo is versus LV. It's a really good matchup. Either way, they're probably going to be good plays, but they're definitely going to fall behind Tet. And then Garrett Wilson, as I mentioned with his game, Garrett Wilson's tough to rank right now, but I will move him up if Fields was to play. But Garrett Wilson is is at Tampa Bay. So where are we at here? We got T. Higgins available. We've got potentially A.J. Brown, which I suppose you could go AJB in this range here. AJB, already got Flowers. I got BTJ. I don't think I'm missing anybody. I'm spitballing this, so I want to make sure I'm not skipping over somebody. Honestly, the player that might be next, it might be JMO. And it may be a surprise like Travis Hunter, right, with this potential 25 overall spot. I still believe in Travis Hunter. I want to put Hunter here. Ridley's a conversation piece here. DJ Moore, Keenan Allen. You could easily put Keenan Allen like right in this range. Honestly, Keenan Allen in this DK spot, right around there. These are my wide receiver ranks for week number 3. Honestly, it's easy to throw ranks out and to say, this is what I think. And I know people want to see him, so I don't mind creating the content. But if you really want value, I think what I'm about to say in the next 30 seconds is truly what is important. The players that can climb insane amounts of spots would be Pickens, Evans, BTJ, London, Puka, and obviously these guys feel like locks here for week number. I got a little camera focus issue. These guys feel like, let me put something there so it can focus. These guys feel like straight up locks right here, Lamb, Nabers, and Puka. But I think these guys have the potential to climb up and be much more valuable than their ranking is allowing for. Hunter as well. So these would be my sleeper climber risers for the week. It's easy to throw these out. It's easy to tear them down. It's easy to go, oh my God, I can't believe you have Ted right here. So disrespectful. Ted could easily be one of those. I'll keep Ted circled. Ted could climb up into the top 12. But there's rhyme and reason to why I love Adams here. There's rhyme and reason why if JD5 is playing, again, I'm going to move them below Ted. I'm going to move JD5 and Terry below Ted and Adunze if JD5 is not playing. But there's a reason to love all these guys. I think Flowers is going to explode. I mean, how are you going to move these guys down? They're studs. You're just going to lock them in. So really, this part becomes subjective, and it's all just guesswork at this point. Educated guesswork, but it's guesswork. It's matchups. It's, injuries. Does Puka actually have an injury? Probably not. Does BTJ have a wrist injury? And will they rebound? I mean, this is all very speculative stuff. And Adams, I'll say Adams. These guys have the ability, all the circle guys. Can I get some focus here? What is going on here with my camera? I have it. There's too much text on the screen. I have it auto focusing, and if I don't, then it becomes a disaster, and I have to. There we go. These guys circled have the ability to be top 5 on the week. Pickens could be 5, 6, 7, let's call it. Adams could be top 5. Evans could be top 5. BTJ could be top 5. London could be top 5. Egbuka could be top 5. Ted, and I didn't mean to circle that because I was talking about Keenan Allen. Ted, Hunter, Pickens could all be top 7 to 12. So that's why they're circled. This is my ranking. Love it or hate it. This is how I see the week number 3 wide receiver rankings going. Don't forget to get on over to my Patreon. Okay, $10 a month, cancel anytime. It's a 24/7 live chat group, 365, 24/7. Don't forget I'm live Monday through Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern, every single Monday through Friday. Additionally, live whenever big news breaks. And I'm live at midnight Eastern almost every single night. Appreciate you. Deuce.